Members of the media, we have with us the victorious head coach from North Marion, Stephen Harbert. Players Eli Ramsey, Maddox Batson, Connor Ballots, and Jacob Kusich. Coach, congratulations on the win, great win. Just a lot of different questions.
Well, I said this to Fred and Kyle and all of them that, you know, that's not a typical 7 seed. I mean, when you look at AAA, Robert C. Byrd being the 8 seed, that's, you know, and Shady being a 7 seed, that's crazy. That just shows, you know, how tough AAA is right now. You know, I was a little disappointed, obviously, at halftime about allowing their paint touches off of drives, and also, you know, just how we were out rebounded by 9, I believe, in the first half, and I think it ended up being 9, so or something like that. So, you know, we got to get better at that. But you know, one of the things that we say, I had a player, alumni player that I coached years ago, text me early in the season. He said, "No matter what, you got to find a way. Doesn't matter. Whatever you do, you got to find a way." So, you know, that's one of the sayings that we have on our board. And you know, when we broke from that last time out, our bench guys told them, "Hey, we got to find a way." And I thought that you know, that resonated of how we did find a way to win. And hats off to Shady, but obviously I'm happy for our guys. We deserve it. We worked hard, and you know, I'm proud of them.
You talk about how your press kind of during the fourth, especially the start of the fourth, really got you back in the game.
We had to change it up. We you know, we got too tight on them, and they were able to get to the rim. So we went from a man press to a zone press. And then what happened is, you know, they became indecisive on what they were doing, and they just, you know, I think we created 4 or 5 turnovers. And you know, hats off to them, because we don't work it a whole lot, to be honest with you. But we, you know, that's what we did some last year, so it's not like they haven't done it before. You know, I can't say enough for the kids and their IQ. You know, it's a lot easier to coach a game when you got guys that have a high IQ, and these guys do. So you know, they make us look good, you know, by making plays.
Maddox, how did you find a way on the last shot?
You know, I just play my role, do what I need to do, and it just happens like that. We just go with the flow.
Do you work on that at all?
No. I always work on rebounding, doing what I always do is rebound for us, and everyone does their role, and it all works out perfectly.
So were you not boxed out, or were you just able to get an angle on it? You know,
It was just a really good bounce from the rebound, and just got a lucky tip on it, and it went in.
Maddox, you scored all your points, including you scored the bucket to start the fourth quarter and start that run for you guys. Was there something you and your teammates were talking about heading into the fourth quarter, just to build that lead back up?
We just knew that we needed to step it up, and we know that we're better, and we just need to put in the effort that we've been doing all the season, the whole season, and just knew we need to put it all on the floor, because we have 8 minutes left of the quarter, and if we lose, then that's over for us.
turnover efficiency. I mean, you turned them over 10 times, 16 points off turnovers. I mean, just talk to the ability to be able to capitalize on those.
No, I think not only did we turn them over, but we only had 3.
Mhm.
You know, these 2 guys in particular handle the ball 90% of the time. For us to only have 3 turnovers, that's a credit to what they do. As far as us capitalizing on turnovers like that, they did a good job of trying to control the pace. We want to play at a different tempo, and you know, finally we were able to get some turnovers it's turnovers and missed shots that we can get runouts on, right? And to help with our pace, and you know, finally we were able to do that, and just being in attack mode. I thought we were in attack mode the whole time. I thought, but they just did such a really good job of gapping everything, and you know, they made every shot tough at the rim. Right? So when you turn people over, or if you get easy runouts, like now you're in space, and I think we're pretty good in space. But not to take away from the 10 turnovers that we caused, but to only have 3 against that team is pretty good. That's pretty good.
For Eli and Jacob, kind of bouncing off of that, you're down double digits. There is a sense of urgency. How do you find that balance between pushing things a little bit, but not being too aggressive?
I mean, we knew we only had 8 minutes left in the fourth, and it was win or go home. So we knew we had to be aggressive, but also not foul in the fourth. And whenever we cause a turnover or we stole the ball, then we have to go score.
I felt like we really came together in the fourth. Like every game and throughout the whole season, even that game, we played together. But it felt like in the fourth, when we like huddled to start it, we were like, this is our last chance. So it felt like the team really came together and we played more so for each other. And that's what ended up leading to our success in the fourth.
Connor, how about the three ball, for the 3-point lead, kind of gets lost with everything that went down after it, but can you take us through that play, because it was a fairly challenged shot. I know it's a shot you're comfortable taking.
The three-pointer?
Yeah.
Oh.
For the
I mean,
lead.
I should have took it the first time, I thought. I mean, I was open, but I just hit a little step back three and then, clutched up.
5 for 10 overall from downtown in the second half, and helped get you get closer. And they felt like they came at crucial points. So just talk about what you were able to do to free up those looks and hit them.
Well, I think, I think we ran some sets to get guys open. And then, we told them, like, they didn't make those shots in the first half, right? But we have the confidence in them to make the shots. And one of the first things we said when we left, after we talked about the defensive end, is continue to take those shots. They're going to fall. You've been taking them all year, right? I tell them all the time, you are who you are by now, right? So there's no reason for you to change. So if you're a driver, drive it. If you're a shooter, shoot it. And shoot it with confidence. Me and the assistant coaches, they do a great job too. But just instilling that confidence. I think basketball is a big game, a mental game, and you have to have confidence when you're playing. And I'm proud of them for continuing to take those shots and not shying away from them.
Steve, you had a pretty calm demeanor throughout the entire game. How do you maintain that? I know you don't necessarily care about the seeds, and you've spoken about the depth of this field, and I'm sure you didn't, care one way or the other about the seeding going into this particular game, because you knew what Shady was capable of. But how do you stay even keeled and not get into, some sort of panic mode that could also lead to your kids doing the same thing when you're down a dozen?
That's exactly why. You said it. You answered the question. So why do I stay calm? Because if I'm nervous about something, what does it do? It bleeds over. All right? And I have all the confidence in these guys. They've worked so hard. Every single one of them. Every guy up here has worked all off season. So they take a couple weeks off. We're right back in the weight room. They've taken thousands upon thousands of those shots. So I'm confident in them, and they actually help calm me because I know that they're going to make the next play. I know they're going to make the next play. So if I feel like I'm nervous and jittery, then what do you think they're going to feel like? I don't want them to feel like that. I want them to believe in what they're doing and have confidence because I have confidence in them. So that's really it, man.
You guys have been in tight games against the Class of the AAA, like there's close game against Bridgeport, these Fairmont even at the beginning of the season. Just, is there anything, I guess, new you learned about your team in these tight game situations that you learned today? Or is it...
Honestly, no. Anything you're saying new, no. You go back, we lose to Park South in a tight one, okay? By 2, right? Even though it was an 11-point loss by Willing Central, we're down 20-9 in the first quarter and 59-59 the rest of the game. We had the lead at one point, 49-40 something, okay? So I know what they're capable of doing and how they can battle. I think if you want to look at any growth, then we lost to Park South early in December, and we pulled this one out. I think it all comes back to just confidence and finding a way to win. And I said this to the other medias. Honestly, it's great to see Maddox make that play. He's a senior. All right, that's a guy that says, I want one more game. Right, we're guaranteed one more. I want one more game with these guys. Right, and that's got to kind of be our mindset that we don't want the season to end. It's going to end sometime. It's a blessing. It's going to end here, but then we get to write the story on how it ends. And so I'm proud of everybody up here, but it also means something different when a senior makes that type of play, so I'm very proud.
After the tip, they get the ball near their own goal. What was the point of emphasis for you guys defensively? Because 2.2 seconds is an eternity in that situation.
I really didn't think that they'd throw it and we'd have to guard a baseline out of bounds. I'm just gonna be honest with you, okay? You know, we wanted them to kind of show their hand. Typically, teams only have maybe 1 or 2 plays that they're gonna run into games, so we kind of wanted to see what they were gonna do. We kind of matched up with it, and then we went back to our zone stuff, thinking that they may go to something different. And then he chucked that thing down there, and I think we tipped it out of bounds, and then we had to guard a baseline out of bounds. And, you know, I really thought, honestly, that they were I'd seen him throw some type of, like, almost like a lob type thing for a tip in. I really thought that that's what was gonna happen. But, you know, I'm just glad that they were able to just collectively fight through that and force a tough shot, so.
Bridgeport next, you've seen them. What's challenging about playing them?
They're disciplined. I said this earlier, I think whatever's in the water in Bridgeport, they all drink it, because I don't care if it's football, if it's basketball, whatever it is, they are so disciplined, right? And they, like, you're not gonna speed them up, you're not gonna, like, you know, they're gonna do what they do. They're gonna make you guard for, you know, a minute, right? They're gonna chop that game up that way. So, you know, they're a well-coached team. I respect Coach Marshall to death. I think that, you know, you can see, like, those kids really care about each other, and they've bought into what, you know, he wants them to do. They're disciplined not only offensively, but they're disciplined defensively. Their defense is very similar to what Shady is. So they're gonna really try to gap us, and, you know, like I said, you said it, they know us, we know them. Big Ten, I mean, we finished first, they finished second, and, you know, we know it's gonna be a battle, but, we're excited about the opportunity to play them.
Do you like having a day in between, or would you
Oh,
rather
yeah.
ride this wave and play more?
I want a day between. I like how it's set up. I mean, obviously it rotates every year, right? But I like how it's set up right now for us. You know, it's a blessing for every team to be down here. So just to kind of, all right, we won the game. Now we can kind of take in a day of practice, and then just kind of bond a little bit about watching games. Like these guys, they like to watch high school basketball too. They love it. We're on our way down, and we got Connor, and he's in there just kind of watching the games, and he's updating us as we're driving down on what's going on. I mean, you know, they don't just study film that we're gonna play. Like, we want to see what other teams are doing too. There's some really good teams and really good players down here, and so it's enjoyable to watch. So again, just I like how it's set up for us. Plus, we get a little bit of rest because we play in the full court so much.
Any further questions?